So this is from a Washington Post article from today, April 6th. And the headline is, grocery workers are beginning to die of coronavirus. A Trader Joe's worker in Scarsdale, New York, a greeter at a Giant store in Largo, Maryland, and two Walmart employees from the same Chicago area store have died of COVID-19, the disease the novel coronavirus causes, in recent days, the companies confirmed Monday. Industry experts say the rise of worker infections and deaths will likely have a ripple effect on grocers' ability to retain and add new workers at a time when they're looking to rapidly hire thousands of temporary employees. Walmart, the nation's largest grocer, is hiring 150,000 workers, while Kroger is adding more than 10,000. Many are offering an extra $2 an hour and promising masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer. But finding people willing to work on the front lines for little more than the minimum wage could be an increasingly tough sell. One of the biggest mistakes supermarkets made early on was not allowing employees to wear masks and gloves the way they wanted to, he said. This is Phil Lampert, a supermarket analyst. So, one of the biggest mistakes supermarkets made early on was not allowing employees to wear masks and gloves the way they wanted to. They're starting to become proactive now, but it's still going to be much tougher to hire hundreds of thousands of new workers. We're going to start seeing people say, I'll just stay unemployed instead of risking my life for a temporary job. I mean, duh. This is crazy. Now, let me just say, my locals, no, it doesn't have to be my local supermarket, but because I'm unemployed right now and, finances are beyond tight, I do a lot of shopping at the local Walmart here because that's the only option that we have. If you want low prices in your strapped for cash, that's where you're going to shop. It's really hard to support local businesses when you don't have the money to support them. So I shop at a local Walmart. I've been to a local Walmart within the past few days. I was at Walmart a few days ago. And let me tell you, Walmart in Norwood, Massachusetts, Walmart in Walpole, Massachusetts, those workers, the vast majority of them are working without masks or gloves. And I'm willing to bet that they're working without that pittance of a raise, $2, but certainly not with hazard pay. It's infuriating to me. It's absolutely infuriating to me. You got people out there risking their lives. These people are literally going to die for minimum wage. In minimum wage in Massachusetts here, it's like something like I think it's like $12 an hour, maybe a little less than that, maybe slightly more than that. It's around $12 an hour. In many parts of the country, it's $7.25 an hour. That's $15,000 a year, pretty much. You want people to die for minimum wage. In these companies, the Walmart company is owned by one of the richest families on the planet. These people are billionaires. And you mean to tell me they can't provide their employees with masks and gloves to protect themselves when those employees are coming in contact with hundreds, if not thousands of people every single day? They're going to get the virus themselves, get sick and possibly die from it. But they're also going to end up spreading it to other people in their community, which I'm sure they don't want to do, and all while they're making minimum wage. And let's just say, it's not just Walmart employees and grocery store employees that aren't being protected. I know somebody that works at a cannabis dispensary that isn't being protected. I know somebody that works as a CNA and they're not being given proper protective equipment. I know someone who works as a CNA in a department that is specifically taking care of COVID-19 patients, and they're not being given the proper protective equipment. They are risking their lives. And these CNAs, this is not a high paying job. CNAs are making, I don't know off the top of my head, I don't know what this person's making. I don't know what they make. I should look this up. I apologize for not having this number. But I know it's less than $50,000 a year. You're talking in the city in Boston, Massachusetts. You're talking about people making less than $50,000 a year, risking their lives, coming in contact. These are the people in the most high-risk situations. And you're not giving these people the protection that they need. This is so insane. I just don't know how we can move forward like this. We are literally putting these people's lives in danger, and this is why I'm a strong supporter. Any essential employee and Bernie Sanders came out and tweeted something of this nature recently. He said, I support any worker, any essential employee, any worker that wants to strike or do a walkout or a sick out. In order to protect the health of their communities and themselves, honestly, I am in support of that, because what else do we have? These people need protection. We cannot let the people that we're calling essential employees, not only do they need protection, they need money. They need the pay. If they're going to be considered essential employees, how about we pay them like they're essential? Huh? Is that too hard to do? Why can we not double the pay of these people right now? We are putting them in at such a risk. Even if they don't, end up contracting this virus, they were risking it, and they were willing to risk it to just many of them, not because, let's not romanticize this thing, and that, these people are not doing this because they're just great souls and they just, they just care so much about people. A lot of these people are being put in this situation out of desperation. They're just so desperate. They have no choice but to do this. If they don't do that, they might not have a job. They might not have a paycheck coming in. They might not be able to make rent. So these people aren't doing it out of the kindness of their heart necessarily. I mean, some of them are. They're just good people. All these people are good people. These are good people. But they're being forced into this situation is my point. And it's so discouraging and unconscionable for us to have these people going out there risking their lives and to not protect them with the proper PPE, personal protective equipment, and also to pay them accordingly. So I know this is still going on. I wear a mask, just not an N95 mask, because those things are in such short supply in here in the US, because we were so woefully unprepared for this virus, because apparently viruses are a new phenomenon. Viruses haven't existed for longer than humanity has existed. No. We just couldn't see this coming. We couldn't see this coming. Richard Wolff pointed this out. We stockpile at an immense cost to the country oil in reserves, in these immense amounts of oil, crude oil, at an immense cost to the country. We stockpile oil, but we do not stockpile medical supplies.
The United States, at enormous expense, buys and stores in underground bunkers petroleum. Huge amounts at an enormous expense. Why? Well, for the national security, in case the oil we need can't be brought in from outside, we have I see. To manage your oil supplies, you spend a lot of money to store the thing you need to be secure. But for the health, not so much. Not so much. What's this about? You have a private healthcare system. The private healthcare, the people who make the kits, who make the drugs, who make the hospitals, the clinics, they're private profit operations. They're looking to maximize the bottom line, as they will tell you if you ask. So the health and welfare of the American people is held hostage to the private profit system. If it isn't privately profitable, it doesn't get done. And now we see the result of such a system.
Talk about having your priorities out of order. I mean, we just saw Ebola come to this country, and look at how we can just, all of a sudden there's cures for Ebola when it moves out of Africa and into the US. When it was ravaging Africa, no cure for Ebola. All of a sudden, some white person in America gets it, and all of a sudden now we got a cure for Ebola. But these are not new things. These epidemics and pandemics are not new to us. And so a country that cared about its citizens would have done two things. One, had a universal basic income so that we just don't ever have to be, if you're ever put into a situation like this, the economy and people can keep moving forward. The entire economy doesn't have to completely shut down, and people don't have to be in desperation immediately. And also, basic preparation. Let's stockpile medical equipment the way that we stockpile oil in this country. Masks, gloves, the gowns and the suits that they need. Thermometers. People should be getting temperature checks if these essential employees, every time they show up at work, they should be getting their temperature check. This isn't anything that I'm coming up with myself. Other countries are doing this. South Korea has stemmed the worst of this crisis in their country. They're sort of the model example of how to handle this thing. And how they've done it is through testing, constant temperature checks, proper stay-at-home orders, and holding those in place for long enough that people can actually, the virus, slows the spread of the virus, flattens the curve, as they say. So what we're doing to these people, it's just inhumane, and we have to do better. I feel terrible for any worker that's being put into this situation. I feel for you. I am so sorry that we are asking so much of you and giving so little. You deserve better. You absolutely deserve better. And shame on us. Shame on us as a society for not doing better for you. I'm sorry. Give these people hazard pay. Double their pay. And honestly, if they're considered essential employees, how about we don't just double their pay during a crisis, but double their pay permanently so that they can stay in their work, so that they can continue to be trained, so that they're equipped and ready for these situations when they arise. Let's make sure if these people, we've seen now who the essential people are in our economy. We see who they are. They're the grocery workers. They're the farmers. They're the healthcare workers. They're the package delivery folks. Let's take care of these people since they're taking care of us. How about we take care of these people since the way that they're taking care of us now? Let's pay them properly and let's protect them so that no more lives are unnecessarily lost in this crisis. These people deserve better. They are human beings and they deserve better. It goes without saying. I could go on for a long time on this, but I'm just going to end it there. Thank you so much. You just watched a Radical Democracy video. I'm your host, Kamali Rose, and I just wanted to say thank you. And also, please do me a favor and subscribe below. Also, smash that like button and come back for more. Please hit the bell as well. Hit that bell on the notifications and select to get all notifications so that whenever we launch a video, you get it first. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again soon. Peace. Pretty good, I think. I like it.